Alright, so today we're going to be talking about what made Battlefield 4 so great. And I know people have a lot of stuff to talk about Battlefield 4 and just like the things that made the game awesome and why it was good and what Battlefield 6 can do. But I'm going to talk about one of the things that isn't as talked about as many of the other things. And this is the amount of maps there was in this game, and more specifically, the amount of content. Because, I mean, there's an absolute insane number of maps, and I'm going to try to see if there's any way to sort it by the specific DLCs, because I'm trying to do a tier list here. But basically, like, just the amount of maps there was, and each DLC brought a new game mode too. Carrier Assault was like one of my favorite game modes, honestly, ever. It was such a fun game mode, and just like the amount of content they brought within the first year was crazy. The game did not launch with that many maps, to be honest. I think it launched with 9, which is still pretty solid, but I wouldn't really rank many of the base maps too highly. So I'm basically going to make this a tier list where we're going to go through the Battlefield 6 maps, all the DLC maps, all the base maps, and basically put them into a tier list and see which ones we might want back in Battlefield 6, and kind of just talk about the kind of premium model overall, because I think the premium model, which I kind of have the counter here, was a much better model than the live service model. And obviously, in theory, like when they switched to live service, everyone was so happy because people didn't like it that, you know, for example, like right now I can't find a like any carrier assault maps because it's naval strike only. And so I understand that like when they kind of segment the maps off, it makes it really hard for people to be able to play them, because unless you own like all the premium maps, you might not be able to find, you know, games on those maps, or like there's a much smaller population that's on those maps. So I definitely got that argument, and I think I was even excited when they switched to a live service, but over the last few games, it really just has not panned out well. So Battlefield 4 has 33 maps. Battlefield 1 also had like a ton of maps. And so, let's see how many Battlefield 1 had. It's going to take a second to load, but like, let's see, that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 29 maps. And they might even be missing some here. But Battlefield 1 had 29 maps because it also had premium and a full DLC. Now let's go to Battlefield 5. Okay, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12, 16, 21. So Battlefield 1 had 30, like roughly 29, 30. Battlefield 4 had 33, but they also had some of the night maps. So I think it, after everything considered, it had almost 40 maps. Battlefield 4 did. Battlefield 5 had 21. And let's see, Battlefield 2042. Not really at 1, 2, let's see, 8, 12, 13 maps. I mean, obviously they had Portal, which kind of bailed it out a little bit, but you see why, like, it was nice knowing that if you spent the extra $50, like, no matter what, even if people hate the game, I mean, even Hardline had a ton of maps. And, like, that game died. Like, for real, was dead on PC. It did pretty good on console still, but, it was literally dead. 1, 2, 3, 8, 16, 24, 27 even. So even Hardline got 27. And Hardline, honestly, had some, I'm going to do a video on Hardline kind of showing places that could kind of mimic what the Battle Royale might look like in Battlefield 6, because I know it's based in LA. So like Bank Job, I think it's Hollywood Heights is one of the maps too, this map, with the fire in the background. There's definitely some things that Hardline could cross over with. Oh, and the Grand Bazaar remake on this map this game looks so cool, and it was instantly hard to find a server on. But again, you knew if you spent that extra money, you would guarantee to get a ton of maps that you liked. All right, so let's just start ranking some of these maps. So I'm gonna just do some that I think are great maps, and then some that I think are pretty rough maps, and just kind of fill in the gaps from there. So Heinen Resort, I want to put a D, I might move it around. I'd like to have some in F and some at the top. So we'll see. But I really didn't like this map too much. A lot of the maps in this game I still think are like pretty fun. Like I've definitely had fun moments on this map and got some like good clips and stuff. But nothing like too special about this map that would like make me ever really want to ever choose to play it again. If I'm like filtering maps and I want to put in like my top 5 or 10, that's really never showing up. Now maps that are really good, definitely think, and after I'm done with this, I'll put a few into the Please Remaster. I just kind of want to see how this plays out with just like the F through S, because I might put some of the Please Remaster, they're like A and B, just because I think they could be fun on BF6. So Propaganda S tier, super fun map in the, I believe it was Dragon's Teeth DLC. So as we were looking at before, that came in July, but obviously Battlefield 4 kept getting content for even years after Premium ended. So I think that it just became one of the best maps because of that. All right, where's Siege of Shanghai? I think this is it. I think Siege of Shanghai is an A tier map. I know like a lot of people don't like it because of the cheese of the tower and stuff, but I honestly wish Battlefield 6 would have a map like that. So I'm honestly gonna put this in Please Remaster. I think it'd be super easy for them to just kind of cop out and throw this back in. I think people would absolutely love it. I know a lot of like hardcore Battlefield people don't like Siege of Shanghai because they think the tower's cheese. There's just a lot of camping with all the rooftops and stuff. But I don't know. I think just watching that tower fall and like being able to have the impact on it, and even the map after the tower falls is pretty fun. So I think it's just a really fun map. And I honestly thought it was pretty fun in Rush too. Kind of using the flags that aren't as played in Conquest because they're kind of towards the base. I think it was super fun in Rush on that map. So I think that map could be a really fun remaster. This is Dragon Valley. With that a B. That was a decent map with a lot of vehicle stuff. I really like tanking on that map, to be honest. Yeah, this is Caspian Border, but that is A tier. I thought that was a pretty good map. Some of the naval maps, I know what they all are, but I don't necessarily remember the names. So we might skip those for a little bit. Oh, this one? Oh, where's the community map? This is the community map. This is the, these two maps are from China Rising, which China Rising maps are kind of mid in my opinion. But I'm gonna put the community map project as A. I thought it was a really good map. Just super fun and different from anything we'd seen. I really liked in the CTE, so like the community test environment, I guess. CTE has a much different meaning now. But you could, there's like a waterfall you kind of base jump off of that they were experimenting maybe for Rush. I remember Westy made a video on it. And I thought that would have been so cool if they added a base jump from waterfall for that. But anyway, still turned out pretty fun. Oh, I forget. Flood Zone, I think. I'll put it as C tier. I don't think Flood Zone's too good, but pretty fun. It's Pearl Market. A tier. Super fun infantry map. Oh, I don't know how I'm forgetting what this is called. Rogue Transmission. Yeah, Rogue Transmission. C tier. Nothing too crazy. Operation Locker. A tier. I don't care how cheesy it is. Super fun to play. Silk Road, probably B tier. Really fun if you like vehicles, which I generally do, and I like tanking. So maybe that's A tier too. Honestly, I'm kind of getting a lot of the good maps out of the way. I think Parasail Storm B tier. I like the naval combat. I really wish we had some more naval combat maps. I believe I liked this one with all the subs in it for Naval Strike. And again, I also like this one. Which I really liked Naval Strike because of Carrier Assault. I honestly loved the idea of like mixing Conquest and then you have to storm their carrier and play like a mini game of Rush on their carrier while they're also playing a mini game of Rush on your carrier. Honestly, one of the coolest things I've ever played in Battlefield. Kind of up there with like Operations in Battlefield 1. I really loved that. Oh, what's this map called in Dragon's Teeth? That's Sunken Dragon? No, that's the Dragon Pass or something. No, that's Lymphini Gardens. Oh, Lymphini Gardens is pretty good. I'll put that as a B tier. I really like the Final Stand. I like this Final Stand map because of like the futuristic sides of it. Definitely my favorite Final Stand map. Where is it? Is this it? I was trying to figure out what map this was. I think that might be it. It just looks very weird in that picture. They don't show the maps. Oh. Hangar 21. I guess that's gotta be Hangar 21A. Yeah. I feel like an idiot if that's on Hangar 21, but which other one is Hangar 21 here? Those are the only night maps. I think that's Hangar 21. I think that was a B tier too. I really loved the fact that there's a Titan there. I can't put it at A tier just because of that. I really love that. Yeah, that was that. Yeah, I was about to lose my mind. Just called Firestorm for 2014. All right. Then China Rising. I'm tossing them in C tier. I didn't really like any of the China Rising maps. This is Zavod. I'll put Zavod in A tier. Golmud, B tier. Pretty good map. Dawnbreaker, B tier. Giants of Karelia, I think, B tier. Okay. Now that I have some room to play with, you're going S tier. Market's going S tier. Caspian Border S tier. Oh, wait. E tier. This map was kind of fun. No, honestly, no, it wasn't. What am I saying? Sun and Dragon B tier. That was a fun map. LazerGamingDaMLG, I'm good. I mean, the other naval strike maps. I don't know, this one I know had a lot of the fun tunnels. I'll put that at C. Why am I forgetting what you are? That Gulf of Oman? That is Gulf of Oman. Okay, I think Gulf of Oman is pretty good. B. So also just go C. It's weird because if I could rank game modes, I genuinely would rank Naval Strike. It's like way up there. Like I think like Parasol Storm on Harrier Assault would play like here. I don't know, that's kind of the tier list, but I mean, again, look at all the maps we have to play with. Like, if we don't get, I mean, it's 8 or 9 launch maps. By the end, by what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 months into the game, I think we had a few bonus maps too. We had like 26 maps in Battlefield 4. If we have 26 maps in Battlefield 6 by July of next year, I will be absolutely mind blown. I think that would make the game so much better. I'm hoping that they decide to go in a direction like that and just pump out maps content for us and really make them like themed DLCs. I really don't like how they kind of launch one map with like a battle pass. You gotta buy the battle pass if you want extra cosmetics, etc. Like, drop like a map pack. Like, drop 4 maps that all fit a theme and really like kind of push the game forward. So, I don't know. I think there's so much more they could do. I think doing with Battlefield Labs, they could do something like a community map project again. Super, super, super fun to be a part of that. And I think it really brought the community together. And I think a lot of people want to be involved in something like that this time around. If you guys liked this video, don't forget to subscribe down below. We're going to have tons of Battlefield 6 content and just talking about the scene in general over the next month or two. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you guys next time.